rolling down the
homies.
Let's go with rolling down the river. Anyway,
I always take it back to Clueless when I can.
I mean, why not? Hello, everyone. Welcome to On the Haunt. I'm Whitney.
I'm Amy.
This is On the Haunt.
It is. We are going to attempt to record 3 episodes today because Whitney's going on vacation and my dog's birthday is tomorrow. So we're very busy people.
Yeah, it's Rowan.
Maybe I'll post a picture tomorrow on her birthday.
Maybe
I'm going to post it on my social. We may have matching outfits.
Oh my god. You should also post a picture you just posted of your dog in a swimsuit.
Okay, I could do that as well.
Where my comment was, Rowan, blink twice if you need help.
Which was so funny because she's a pug and they actually have trouble blinking.
So it's like,
so her eyes are super irritated. She's got like this big black spot out there. Like she's probably going to go blind eventually, but it's okay.
So I'm asking her to do something she physically can't do.
Yeah, she physically can't do. And she hated her new pool. Such an ingrate.
Yeah,
she didn't mind the swimsuit or the hat.
Yeah.
Well, I kept saying, look at me, Rowan, look at me. And Keaton's like, she is. The brim of the hat was just over her eyes. I could tell she was looking at me. It was real fun.
Great times. Well, Amy, I started watching The Staircase finally.
Okay.
After your recommendations. And so I think I'm on episode maybe 2 or 3. They made the kids so much cuter.
Yeah, for sure.
Patrick Schwarzenegger or whatever. He was one, Sophie Turner.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, no. Because if you remember.
But then the other daughter, she's like normal.
Yeah,
you know
Martha.
I mean? Yeah, she's, you know, and not like disparaging anyone's looks. I'm just saying the other ones are like movie star, glamorous. You can't like tone that down.
No.
And then she looks like someone like
person.
that would like serve me my coffee at Starbucks.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I went back though and listened to TCO's episodes on The Staircase just because I was like, I was just back in it, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know.
TCO. He did it. I believe
it seems very likely. Yeah. He's such a creeper.
He really is,
and he's so annoying.
Yeah. Ugh. And it'd be different if he wasn't having like, spoiler alert, like affairs with men and stuff. But I just feel like
if his other
and he wasn't out openly. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and his other. Well, it wasn't his wife, because Patty was his wife, right? Patty Peterson was his wife. But Patty's friend was the other one that fell down the stairs also.
And they got her children.
Yeah.
That was
all of that's so weird.
It is weird. It took me the longest time to sort it all out.
Yeah,
because I felt like the documentary wasn't super clear about
No,
that.
not at all. And how, like, that one daughter is Kathleen's daughter. So they don't have any kids together.
No, they had no children.
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
It was very bizarre.
And then, I don't know, if you haven't watched the documentary, The Staircase, totally do.
Yeah, do that first. Yeah. Before you watch the series.
Although it is very biased, I think, in saying that he didn't do it.
I agree.
Remember at the end where he's, like, talking about that cold sandwich? Feel the sandwich. It's so cold. It's like, you're in jail, dude. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. This isn't Applebee's.
Eat it or starve.
Right. Eat it or die.
I saw someone posted on Instagram actually comparing Panera to hospital food.
What? No.
I happen to love Panera.
Yeah, it's delicious.
And I don't mind hospital food. If
Me
I'm being
neither.
honest, I always treat it like a vacation. I'm like, I will have the country fried steak, mashed potatoes, and gravy.
Same. When I had my kids, I was like, bacon and double bacon. And they're like, you should really watch your sodium. I'm like, don't care.
I know. My grandma, we went to visit her in the hospital a few weeks ago. She was so excited. Like, she was like, look at this menu. She's like, I had chicken and dumplings for lunch. She's like, for dinner, I'm having the meatloaf. And what? And ice cream. And she was so excited.
It's better than it used to be, for sure. Yeah, it's not... Okay, so hospital food.
And I love Panera.
Yeah.
We're in our neck of the woods. It's called the St. Louis Bread Co.
Because that's where it started, people.
Yes.
Anyway.
No one cares.
No one cares.
Okay, shall we?
Shall we? I have no idea who goes first.
I don't either.
I can just go.
Okay. What? I don't care. I'm good. I'm reading off my phone today, but
I'm looking at my notes. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just go.
Okay.
Which one of these do I want to do first? Let's chat about. Oh God. Okay, here it comes. Sorry, it wasn't coming up. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Okay.
I double checked. I'm pretty sure we haven't done this.
I would remember Trans-Allegheny.
Well, you've seen it, I guarantee. Like, it's on there's like an episode of everything on it. This is from Legends of America. And this is a direct copy and paste, obviously.
Oh, and by the way, folks, we're taking a break from
Tales
from the Prayer Closet because we don't have time to sit down and watch a 40-minute episode of Ghost Adventures, okay?
Hey, it takes longer than 40 minutes. You gotta
It really
stop.
does.
You gotta type.
You gotta take notes.
We're just complaining. Oh, this
This
job.
is literally copy and paste. My stories were done in 15 minutes yesterday.
Yeah, I texted Amy and I'm like,
All
have
three
you,
of them.
hey, have you already done your Tales from the Park? She's like, are you kidding me? No. I'm like, great. Okay, me neither.
Yeah, like they were supposed to be done until tomorrow. Do you
Right.
honestly think I've done them?
No, which was really worked out because I was, anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll be back. Don't worry.
Nasta
It's coming back.
procrastinators.
My loved Zach Baggins. We'll be back. I also started re-listening to TCO's episode of Demon House.
Well, we have to make a deal. If Brittany does re-up her residency in Vegas,
Oh, yeah.
and we go to that,
We're
even
going-
though I don't want to give him any of my money, we're totally going to Zach's museum.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And Jamie won't be able to say a word because Brecken's 21st birthday is next year, so they already have a Vegas trip planned. So
there you
he
go.
can't even say anything
No.
about me taking a girls' trip.
Hilarious.
Which also are, in addition to Rowan's birthday, our anniversary is tomorrow.
Who cares? It's Rowan's
but
birthday.
I won't bring it up. First of all, we're not those people that like on Facebook and stuff are like, oh, it's like, but funny story. Time out. Sorry. So my husband works over the road.
Yeah.
So he's only home on weekends.
Don't
come at me though. I have weapons. I am not a victim.
And she
people.
has a dog.
I have a vicious dog. You will see. I will post her in
She'll-
her bikini.
Yeah, she will be wearing a bikini as she bites
She
your feet.
will.
But don't.
Anyways, so he called me. I guess it was Monday night. Just to touch base and check in and stuff. And he was like, well, I was just calling tonight because I don't know what time I'll get off tomorrow. So to wish you a happy anniversary.
Aww.
Our anniversary's not until Friday.
Hey, at least he tried.
I didn't say a word. I just rolled with it to see.
That's
so we'll
sweet.
see if like he realized. I don't know if he just thought
Yeah.
like it was June 17th was going to be, or if he forgot.
The 13th, 17th.
Because like his birthday's the 15th. The twins is the 15th.
June.
So he called me whatever was the night before the 15th. Was
So
it
Jamie's
Tuesday night?
birthday was the 15th?
May 15th, same as Holden's.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then the twins is July 15th. Mm-hmm. And then our anniversary is June 17th. So I don't know if he just
That's
thought it was
just a lot of
15s mixed.
numbers.
It really
confusing.
is. But anyway, so we'll see. I'm going to see.
That's cute.
How that
He
goes
texted
down.
me on my birthday.
Nice.
He said, happy birthday, Shitney. And I was like, thanks,
I
asswipe.
texted you as well.
You did.
To my platonic lover.
I was just like, that's nice, Jamie. Thanks.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
He has to call me a name when wishing me a happy birthday.
Do you expect anything?
I mean, it would be
else?
weird if he didn't. Quite frankly. Okay, back to the lunatic asylum where we belong.
Probably.
We literally would have been
It
in
probably
there.
has amazing food. So whatever.
Maybe not.
I don't know. If it's like in a wing of a hospital.
Well, it's in the 1800s. Man.
Oh,
nothing's
Here's
yummy.
your mutton. I don't know.
Which I still don't even know what that is.
either. I think it's like
Nasty ass
is it
oatmeal.
lamb or something. I don't know
What?
Mutton.
Oh, I thought it was like an oatmeal situation. Literally don't know. I'm
Mutton
making
chops.
that. I don't know.
Okay,
What
I don't
about
either.
That. Anywho.
Okay,
moving
sorry,
on.
moving
No, you're
on.
good. It's fine.
Giving the people what they want are signs of idiocy. Is that a word?
Signs
Almost
of
like
our
idiocracy.
lunacy.
That's there you
Is
go.
that a word?
That's a word.
Okay, great. All right, so Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. We're in West Virginia, people. We're the wild and
wonderful
whites.
whites of West Virginia.
what a place. It really gets a bad rap, doesn't it? I've never
I
been
don't
there.
know. I think it might get a genuine rap. I shouldn't say. Listen, hey,
who's
people in my family who belong with the wild and wonderful whites
Yes.
of West Virginia, so I'm not throwing
We
shade.
both do. So yeah, for real.
Have you been to Missouri?
I mean, it's terrible here.
Illinois, where I grew up.
Oh, well, and our politician. Anyway, don't get me started. God. Moving on. They belong in this lunatic asylum. Eric
In the
Greitens.
1800s.
Eric Greitens, go eat some rocks,
Just
man.
go away. No
one wants you. Even your wife.
Even your wife is like done.
Did they divorce?
I don't know.
She should.
I hope so.
Please, God, go on with your life, girl.
Unless she was like, felt like she had to stay by him like
Ugh.
Hillary did with Bill to like support his career. It's like, no.
Well, Hillary got hers out of it in the end. I mean, she's more powerful.
Yeah,
sort
but
of.
I would. No way.
I mean, she
No
still
way.
wasn't
You
the
publicly
president, though.
humiliate me
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. You going down.
Into the ground, son. Jamie, we're talking to you.
That's right. Lorena Bobbitt ain't got nothing on me. Okay,
Can you imagine chopping off someone's penis?
No.
What did she use?
Wasn't it just a knife?
Oh my God. So you have to hold it and hack at it?
Not, like, wake up.
He had to.
Like,
dude, like how many Ambien did you
or did she just have, like, a real swift, like...
She had a, what's that called? That you chop hay with?
A scythe? Yes. No, I don't think she had a scythe.
No, but it'd be funny if she did.
Or a sickle. What's the difference between a
Sickle.
scythe and a sickle? Are
No
they
idea.
the same?
Is a sickle smaller? Like it's handheld. A scythe has a long...
Okay, scythe is like Grim Reaper. Sickle is like Children
handheld.
of the Corn.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's so weird. It's great. Those are your... it's wonderful. Moving on.
Yes.
Back here. Don't chop off penises.
No,
unless
don't.
you... She went to prison, didn't she?
Just kick them. Kick them in the nabs.
Oh.
And divorce them. That's...
I mean...
Yeah, don't go to prison.
Wasn't he, like, sexually assalting her, though?
Well, didn't he, like, get a porn career and stuff out of it? It was, like, reattached,
Ew.
I feel like. Right? I feel like it was surgically reattached.
Go back to normal. There's no way that's normal again.
He became a porn star. I'm like
sick.
97% sure I'm right on this.
I feel like he was like raping her though.
Anyway, I don't know.
We don't even know. Why are we talking?
I don't know. Get back to
because there was like a legit reason for her to do it. But she still, I think, served prison time. Anyway, watch Lorena. There's a documentary. We've clearly not seen it because we don't know anything about it.
Actually, I think I have. I just can't recall.
We're just like,
facts.
I almost said prophesizing. We are not doing that.
No.
Moving back to Trans-Allegheny Lunatic
Yes,
Asylum. It was once known as the Weston State Hospital. It's in Weston, West Virginia. It opened its doors to patients in 1864. Once it was a house of horrors with severe overcrowding, inhumane conditions, and rampant violence. I mean, what asylum?
Like today's prisons.
Right. And what asylum in the 1800s wasn't like that? Seems like they all were. It's no surprise that it's said to be extremely haunted. The hospital is authorized by the what just happened to my chair? Virginia General Assembly. What does that matter? Okay. So it's like Gothic and Tudor style. I don't have a picture, but I can look for one. Also, this article is so funny because throughout it would just have pictures that are supposed to be scary, to like scare you. One here was called Hysterical Woman. It was just a woman like with her mouth open. I'm like,
they thought all women were hysterical
yeah, rude.
back then.
So just rude. Okay, the building followed the Kirkbride plan, I don't know what that means, which called for long, rambling wings arranged in a staggered formation, assuring that each of the connecting structures received an abundance of therapeutic sunlight and fresh air, and the patients were allowed privacy. I mean, that sounds nice. Yeah. It didn't go as planned.
Does it ever?
Right. Unlike those places constructed more for the purpose of security and safety, this establishment was to foster the best-known concepts of curing the patient, which back then we know was just sunlight and air, right?
Yeah, that was their answer to everything. You got the TB, sunlight and air.
Yeah.
You got the yellow fever, sunlight and air.
Sorry, it's snowing on top of your body.
Don't get me wrong. I'm all for like holistic,
Sure,
medical, but sunlight. I'm happier now that the sun is shining.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hot and gross, but it does do something for you. For your, you know.
I don't know if it does something for me. I think I might be the only person who...
I legit have seasonal depression.
Yeah. I just have year-long depression.
Well, I do too, which my medication really helps to tamp it down. But in the winter, it gets by worse. Like February, I'm like, ugh.
Well, February may well be the worst month of the year.
And don't get me wrong, I hate the heat wave we're in right now.
No,
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I make sure I don't spend more than 35 minutes a day outside. And look at me. I'm like the color of, like, I don't know, maple syrup already. And I'm like,
I almost died at the Cardinals game this week.
I saw you.
So embarrassing. God. I took my Girl Scout troop and I'm just standing up on this ramp with all these little girls and I'm just like, oh my God. You know that feeling where you're like, okay, please, no, do not let this be happening. Yeah. This is so embarrassing. And then I was like, I have to walk down and get water. So I walked down. I drank out of a water fountain at Busch Stadium.
I mean, you do what you got to do.
I know, but that's how bad it was. Where I was like, Kyle's like, well, now you got COVID. I'm like, well, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Then I sat down on the ground, like chewed up gum. I don't even know what I was sitting on. And this other mom was so nice. She's like, are you okay? And I'm just like, oh my God.
At least you only like almost pass out. When I get overheated, I legit just pee myself.
Oh,
I lose all control of my bladder.
That's so weird.
Know. Like, I've done it a couple times. Like, I'll be on a walk when I shouldn't be because I know it's too hot, but I take water and something, and it's just like, I don't even, it just happens. Like, I don't even know what's happened until it's happened. And I usually like, Carter, can you fire up the 4-wheeler and come pick me up? Because once it's to that point, I don't even know what's going to happen to. I might die. I don't know.
Or evacuate your bowels,
like,
which
your
would be
organ shutting down is usually like the last step
of death.
Of death.
Yes, it is.
So,
it definitely is.
You just...
Oh my God. Yeah, it was very embarrassing. And just like so many, I was like, please, God, do not let me pass out. And then they have to bring that golf cart ambulance over.
Yeah, because like everything has to stop at the park.
Yeah.
Like, no, everyone stop.
Well, they're screaming
and
at
everyone
people.
stare.
Yeah, they're like screaming at people to get out of the way. And everyone's like, huh?
And then like they load you into an ambulance. It's already on standby. And then you have to pay for an ambulance. You're like, I just got overheated.
Oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
And then poor Kyle has to drag
the children,
the Girl Scout trip to the hospital.
Well, Kyle actually went out on the track, on the field with the Girl Scouts. I was like, thanks. Go, Dad.
Way to take one for the troop.
Yeah, and me and Holden just like sat over here on the ground, drinking Powerade and eating cotton candy, and then got, yelled at by Kyle. Cotton candy's bad when you're hot, right? And I was like, shut up. Shut up.
That's not real.
He was like, sugar than helping. I'm like,
no,
who, are you a doctor?
That's an urban legend.
Get out of here. God.
We bought some delicious cotton candy at Lolly and Pops last week. I've been eating on it.
If I'm going to die, I want to die eating cotton candy.
For real. What a way to go.
I mean...
You still have all the little puffs that like harden on your fingertips. They're like, what's on this
woman's hands in the autopsy room?
She has fingerprints. What's going on?
It's sweet. I don't know why they're licking my fingers. It's really gross.
What kind of medical examiner are you going to?
The good kind. Licks your finger. Gross.
Sounds like a real interesting fetish.
Why am I talking about this? Oh my God.
Okay, the Lunatic Asylum.
Back to the Lunatic again, where we belong.
Totally politically incorrect name.
Totally. I just keep saying totally.
Valley Girl.
Okay. All right. So. Okay, so the asylum was located in a rural area where patients would be housed among strangers only and discouraged from seeing anyone they knew. That is rude.
Well, I mean, are there friends and family in there too?
No.
Well, then you would always be housed around strangers, right?
But like, maybe you can't have visitors. Patients were not even allowed to receive gifts or mail.
Oh.
That's just mean. Why? What's the purpose of that? Construction began in late 1858, initially conducted by prison and slave labor. Great. Skilled stonemasons were later brought in from Europe. Construction was interrupted by the outbreak of the Civil War in 1961, and the partially built hospital and surrounding grounds became Camp Tyler for the Union. So, there's people dying all over the place.
Oh, for sure.
So, they used the asylum as barracks. And it looks like in 1864, Confederate raiders stripped the asylum of all food and clothing intended for its first group of patients. I mean, people were desperate. So the first patients were admitted in October 1864. The very first patient was a housewife who had domestic trouble. What does that mean?
Don't we all?
I mean, let's see what it says. The first logbook used at the hospital lists reasons for patient admission and includes causes like grief, congestion of the brain, feebleness of intellect. Does that mean like intellectual disabilities, maybe? Seduction? What? Excuse me, what?
Who is she seducing?
Everyone.
Okay.
She can't stop seducing. Is there another?
I have that affliction.
Is there like another use? Like another like reason?
So
like a
mental
definition for that word that I'm missing? I don't know. And novel reading. Does it mean...
Oh, God. I would be...
Does that mean reading books or something? I don't understand what that means.
To me, that's reading a novel.
I mean,
what else
yeah.
could that be?
Novel read. I mean, the only other thing for reading I can think of is like reading minds.
But that would just say be reading minds, not novel reading.
So, yeah, well, because women can't read, duh.
No.
Ew.
Not in the 1800s.
No.
Stop.
In the early days, asylums were seen as repositories for more than just the insane. In many cases, people were committed for ridiculous reasons such as laziness. Oh, God. Well, we're in trouble. Religious enthusiasm. Practice! They're like, calm down. There would be whole churches.
Yes.
Menopause. Oh, man, this is looking bad for Amy.
It really is.
Superstition.
Oh, God.
Domestic trouble. Again, I don't know what that means. Masturbation. Just excessive masturbation. Constant.
Can't even leave the house.
Near constant masturbation. Can't even eat dinner. And TB. Well, that's not nice.
No.
You didn't ask for that. I didn't ask to be this seductive. It's hilarious.
Can't help it.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Asylums were often the dumping ground for society's unwanted. I think we all could assume that. Interestingly, the asylum offered money to anyone who dropped off a patient. Well, that seems really bad.
Yeah, this was like real Salem witch
real
trial-y.
problematic. Many of whom showed no signs of mental illness when they were first committed. Nice. The original construction was planned for 250 people. From the beginning, the hospital was largely self-sufficient, raising their own vegetables, maintained a dairy herd, and operated an ice plant. Wow. A nearby coal mine supplied fuel for heat, and there was a reservoir? That's French. For water. All the patients' clothing, curtains, and fabrics were made at Weston, as well as fine quality mattresses and most of the institutional furniture, thus fulfilling the 19th century ideal that institutions should be self-sustaining and that mental patients learned a trade. I mean, it is nice to help them learn a trade so that maybe when they...
Yeah, but did they have a voice in what...
Right.
You mean?
And
Did they get to
weren't-
pick what art and craft project would you like to? You want
and
to
they
make
weren't
mattresses?
even
or...
mental patients. They
No.
were just people who
You're like, okay, I guess.
didn't walk under a ladder.
Or read
Lord.
books.
Right. Literally, we are like all of those things. Okay. Lying on more than 600 acres, the land also included a cemetery for the many that passed away at the asylum over the years. That's problematic. The 200-foot central clock tower was completed in 1871. The center unit is 4 stories high with a great cupola, I don't know what that means, and the clock tower.
That's like a little...
Oh,
At the
okay.
top of
At the
it.
top of it.
Yeah.
Got it. This section was originally designed to house offices and personnel, and at one time even had features such as a large ballroom. I can't imagine being that big. It's like a little tower.
Ballroom?
For what?
Oh, here comes seductive Sandy, everybody. Lady in red.
Everyone's just drooling. They can't look away. Oh my God, that's so weird. Construction would continue into 1881 when the original plan was complete. It cost over $725,000, which in 1881, I don't know what that is today, but it's a lot of money, I would assume.
$35 million.
Right. which is $300,000 over the original budget. So at that point, more than 700 patients were housed there. It was only supposed to be 250. That's really crappy. It contains 2.5 miles of hallways. Ugh, and the walls are 2.5 feet thick, dense enough to muffle the screams.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So, as we all know, 19th century healing tactics were barbaric, some of which included bloodletting. What does that mean? Is that what?
That's when they like cut you and let you like bleed because they think things are carried in your blood.
Right.
So if they like,
So it's not
bloodlet you,
leeches. Why was I thinking leeches?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's blood.
That's dangerous, right?
Yeah, that's super dangerous. Especially back in those times. They didn't even understand germs.
Sanitation, yeah. And insulin coma therapy.
They like just give you a
Bunch of
massive
insulin.
dose until you're comatose? That's terrible. That would kill people.
They're like, well, they're quiet at least. Moving on. Great. Unfortunately, there were seclusion cells and confinement cribs were utilized to control violent patients. Unfortunately, there were innocent victims of the asylum due to misdiagnosed conditions and unfortunate situations. Many spent their entire lives there, only to end up in an unmarked grave on the hillside. We're getting to the hauntings, people. It's coming. Just prepare yourself. Changes were constantly being made. A women's auxiliary was built in 1890, and 2 years later, the 20-acre front lawn was enclosed by a Victorian wrought iron fence. Great. 20-acre front lawn. I mean, that is big.
Yeah.
Wow.
We can play some golf out.
Right.
Some croquet. Anyone? I say croquet, but I just laugh because that's how Patrick Swayze pronounces it on Dirty Dancing. More time for croquet and whatever he says.
Croquet is not fun.
No, I don't
It's
even
really
understand
not
it.
fun at all. It's hard to play in grass.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what else you'd play it in.
And why is everything wooden? Just so impractical.
Clock. It makes a funny sound. Okay. So the hospital's name was again changed. My keyboard keeps popping up. To the Weston State Hospital in 1913. We don't really care. In the early 20th century, overcrowding, a developing attitude that treatment should be directed more to maintenance than to the attempt to rehabilitate, and a continued lack of funds plagued the hospital for many years. Over the years, several more auxiliaries buildings came and gone. There was a TB building. That's great. Several fires were set by patients over the years, including a large fire in October 1935, which ravaged the 4th floor of the hospital. Remarkably, no one was killed, so that's nice, at least. In 1938, the asylum was home to 1,661 patients.
Oh, that's a lot.
Oh my God. And maybe it's, maybe it does have the space for more than 250 at this point because they've built more, but I can't imagine over 1,600. Geez. That year, a survey reported that the hospital housed epileptics, alcoholics, drug addicts, and non-educationable mental defectives. None of these words are correct these days among its population. In 1949, we're still here. It had 1,800 residents. That year, the Charleston Gazette reported that the hospital had poor sanitation and insufficient furniture, lighting, and heating in much of the complex. Ew, so it's like dark and cold and just...
Ew.
No. At its peak in the 1950s, the hospital population reached 2,400 patients, more than 10 times the number it had been built to accommodate. So yeah, I guess 250 still is what they're looking at. In the rear of the main unit were several brick structures that housed services. Okay, so they had a kitchen, dining room, forensics building? What does that even mean?
Who knows?
And storage.
I think they were just calling things up, but I think bad stuff was going down.
Oh,
there.
I'm
They're
sure.
Like, what goes on? No, don't worry. That's just the forensics building.
Yeah.
There are no lobotomies taking place or electroshock therapy.
Yeah,
over there.
we'll
Don't
get
worry
there
about
to
it.
the ice pick lobotomies in a moment. This was likely one of the worst times for patients at the hospital. So we're in the 1950s. We're in like modern times at this point. Anyone who complained or acted out was subjected to solitary confinement, chained to the walls of an empty room for months on end. Oh,
That's terrible.
it is. During many of these years, a number of medical practices, such as ice water baths, I don't get how people do that, like for their muscles even.
I don't either. Nope.
Seclusion cells, electroshock therapy, and lobotomies were commonly used on patients. At one point, one of the quote-unquote favored procedures that were used extensively was the ice pick lobotomy. This crude procedure utilized a trigger warning, a 1 or 2 prong device which was driven through the orbital socket of the eye and into the brain with a sharp blow. I mean, like, whoever thought that was smart? Is that like right here?
Yes.
Between where your eyeball and this part. I'm like looking at it and
Yes. They used to do that in like, back in the olden days, they would have like, I don't even know how, like teaching.
Auditoriums.
Yeah, auditoriums. Yeah. What was I watching? And they were doing that.
Oh God. It's, oh my God, with the nurse.
Ratchet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's very like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, horrible. So obviously,
and it just caused more damage.
Right. It just put them into
gave them traumatic brain injury.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah. Terrible. In 1952, one doctor alone performed 228 such lobotomies during a 2-week period there. They named it Operation Ice Pick. Gross. But the real problem was overcrowding. Inability to handle the large population led to an increase in violence. There were several cases of patients killing other patients. In one instance, 2 patients hanged one of their fellow patients using a set of bed sheets. When he did not die, the pair cut him down and used a metal bed frame to crush his head. Yikes. Trigger warning, sexual violence. A lot of female staff members were sexually assaulted. One evening, a nurse went missing, and her rotting body was found 2 months later at the bottom of an unused staircase. I mean, yikes. Well, with how big this place is, I mean, there's lots of places to hide a body. In order to deal with some of the more violent, uncontrollable, and severely mentally ill, it is said that many of them were kept in cages. Well, this is really depressing and horrifying. When do we get to the hauntings? We're almost there. Let's see if there's anything else here that I really want to talk about, because it's just, ugh. I mean, more horrifying things. Prepare yourselves. In 1985, the Charleston Gazette once again exposed so it's still open, exposed the asylum, reporting that court-appointed inspectors found the asylum to be dirty and unkept, with many patients left naked and confined to dirty wards with bathrooms smeared with feces. 7 years later, in 1992, even more bad news rocked the asylum when the Charleston Gazette again stated that horrendous conditions inside of the asylum. That same year, a patient named George Edward Bodie died after a fight with another patient. Another patient committed suicide, and his badly decomposing body was not found for 8 days. I mean,
when you have that many patients, I guess there's no such thing as a head count.
Right.
Which is, in and of itself, a huge problem.
Right, and you just can't even keep track of them all. The hospital closed in 1994 due to changes in treatment of patient, like treating them like humans, and the physical deterioration of the facility, and it stood vacant for years. It was auctioned off in 2007, and Joe Jordan bought it, the 242,000 square foot building, for $1.5 million. Today, you can go there for guided historic and paranormal tours, as well as evening ghost hunts. I don't know if I'd want to go there, honestly.
It's a little dark, even for us.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some hauntings. So the tales of hauntings and unearthly spirits lurking within, if any place is going to be haunted, it's going to be this place. Lurking within the building and on the ground started long before it ceased to be a hospital. After a few decades, the reports of hauntings and the sounds of restless souls became commonplace. In fact, some workers were said to have stayed only a few days, quitting after hearing inexplicable noises such as the squeaky wheels of gurneys rolling along a tiled hallway.
Ooh.
Thousands were committed to the asylum over the years, and many unfortunately died there. Over 2,000 people were buried in the nearby cemetery. Is it even big enough for that?
No, probably not. They're probably mass graves.
Oh my gosh. The spirits are numerous and range from Civil War era ghosts to children to ex-patients and staff. Murderers, rapists, and other violent offenders are said to continue to dwell in the building, along with others whose only crime was depression or substance abuse. That's so sad.
Well, why weren't the murderers and rapists in prison?
Right.
I don't understand.
Right. Well, are they like, pled
criminally insane? So
Yeah.
I don't care. You're a murderer and a rapist. You
Right.
shouldn't be there with the
Alcoholics.
seductress or the alcoholic.
With Sadie the seductress.
Yes.
Well, true. I mean, and why is there not a prison for the criminally insane?
That should have been its own.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed, totally. Sightings include staff and visitors seeing ghostly figures walking through the hallways at night and glimpsing shadowy figures at all hours. One doctor even reported that a spirit followed her home.
Oh, great.
And continues to trouble her to this day.
They definitely won't be going on a tour of that place ever. Not that I have any plans to visit West Virginia anytime soon. Anyways.
I'm just impressed there was a female doctor. I mean, I guess it was in the 1990s even, so yikes, that's horrifying. Others have reported seeing a ball of light moving in a hallway and spying apparitions dressed in white. What are they, like, creeping around corners? Weird.
Creeper.
On the first floor of the building, which is called the Civil War Wing and is the oldest part of the hospital, is said to lurk a former patient by the name of Ruth. Though it is is this the seductress? Though it is unknown the reason why Ruth apparently hated men, she's not the seductress.
No.
Unless she seduced women. I just can't even seduce.
I mean, maybe she seduced men and then Lorena Bobbitt them. Got out her
She's a black
and her scythe.
Her sickle. She has a sickle in one hand and a scythe in the other.
And she like very ninja-like. Or like a hibachi.
It's like that game where you cut the fruit.
Oh, yeah. Fruit ninja, right?
Yeah. She's like, lay down very flat. Because or else other...
You could lose an ear.
Right? Lay down. They're like, okay. Thanks, Ruth. Or you say Ruth. Okay. Though it is unknown the reason why Ruth apparently hated men, and she now had a practice of throwing things at them when she was alive. Hey, get back! What is she?
Okay, I don't know.
Feces? I mean,
Her books she's not supposed to be reading.
F you, I'm reading To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't even know if that was written yet. Whatever. Don't ban books. That's so freaking lame.
If you don't like them, don't read them.
I know. I can't get. I mean, like if that is not a sign, of trouble,
terrifying.
when people are telling you what you can and cannot read, get out of town.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm talking to as I'm just looking into the microphone. That makes me so freaking mad.
Yeah.
They're trying to like some schools are banning "Beloved" by Toni Morrison. I'm like, okay. Anyway. Okay, so Ruth is throwing things at them. Today, her spirit still wanders in the hallways where people have been pushed up against walls. Wow.
Yeah, just throw something at me, Ruth.
And I've heard whistling sounds emanating in the, was like, you know, it's those things whistling.
I can't whistle.
No, you can't. That was funny. I'm just imagining the whistling sound of things flying past your face.
Oh, I think like... someone whistling, I've been working on the railroad.
Nope. In Ward 2 of the second floor, a couple of violent events occurred. In one room, a man was stabbed 17 times by another patient. Yikes. In another room, 2 patients completed suicide by hanging themselves from curtain rods. Here, shadowy figures have been seen, and on at least one occasion, an EVP captured someone saying, "Get out." Get out of my
probably
cell.
just trying to help you. Like, get out of here. No one wants to be here.
We will follow you home.
Yes. To make sure
out.
maybe they're just following you home to make sure you get there safely. Get out of this terrible place.
Okay, bye. And then they just leave nicely.
Anything listening, don't ever follow me, please.
No. The third floor is where 2 patients tried to hang the other patient and then bludgeoned him. The ghost of the murdered man is said to continue to haunt the room in which he was killed. I mean, yeah. Another ghost by the name of Big Jim is also said to maintain a presence on this floor, as well as a nurse named Elizabeth. Other occurrences on this floor include doors that close by themselves, fleeting glimpses of apparitions, shadowy figures, and a number of strange noises that have been caught on EVPs. Located on the 4th floor is another well-known spirit, a child named Lily, who sits patiently in a room filled with toys waiting for someone to play with her. Oh, why was she there?
Yeah, and stop. Let her go have a nice afterlife.
Right. What? No. Oh, okay. It comes later why she was there. Wearing a white dress and said to be about 9 years old, Lily likes to play games with visitors and staff as toys move around on their own accord and a music box turns on by itself. Legend has it that Lily was a little girl who spent all or most of her short, sad life inside the walls of the asylum. One story says she was dropped off at the hospital by her parents. I mean, WTF.
Yeah, like
what was she do?
And so they were just like, well, okay, guess we'll just stick
you
around here
imagine?
with the murderers and the rapists.
Yeah. Another story says that another tale states that she was born there to a committed mother, which I mean is possible.
Even so, though, adopt her out.
Right.
Like,
she died of pneumonia at the age of 9 and hasn't left, is what I'm trying to say. Though Lily appears to be pleasant enough, other more sinister spirits seem to linger on the 4th floor, including a black mass-like object and a strange apparition called the Creeper that crawls along the floor.
oh, I hate things that crawl.
Especially black masses that crawl. That's a demon, y'all.
Unless it looks like the Black Mass from Ghost. Then I'm just laughing at you.
I still don't want it coming at me.
Well, no.
Well, it's the sounds that are so stupid.
Yes.
On that, you know?
Well, just the special effects.
It's like those... Well, this is so dumb, but...
Sorry, I know we've made fun of that multiple times.
I know, but like
here,
at the part in The Little Mermaid
problem.
where Ursula makes everyone into those little like things at the bottom of the ocean, that's what that is. Oh my God. Well, you know, like where so much evil things have happened.
Yeah, obviously it's...
Demons be loving that. Great. And then there's someone just banging on pipes down there too, or up there too. Bang, bang, bang.
Okay, your afterlife job is
banging on
pipes.
Well, maybe if someone was like maybe, chained to a pipe. And they're like,
yeah, that's terrible.
yeah. Another ghost on the 4th floor who many have seen is a soldier who they called Jacob, who said to stroll the hallways. How lackadaisical. Is that a word?
Yes.
Thank you. Numerous unearthly sounds have also been heard, including screaming. Well, that's an earthly sound. Okay. Coming from inside the electroshock room. Banging, mysterious slamming doors, throaty moans. Is that from...
The seductive... Sandy, I see you. I can't even roll my tongue. I can't do any of the fun stuff.
Well, that's not a throaty moan either.
What is the 30 minute?
Well, that doesn't sound sexy. That sounds frightening.
Okay, you can check seductress off of our
put
list
a line
of reasons we would be in there.
Put a bold line through that.
They're just like, you need some tea with honey or something. I don't understand. What's wrong with you?
God help our husbands if that's our...
Well, Jamie probably does hear that a lot, but it's like an exasperated sigh. Like, oh, what now?
Or just as you release your fart. Freedom. God. Ominous breathing and hysterical laughter. That's too far. I don't like that at all. I don't know. That was a witch.
That was a witch. I can't even do hysterical laugh. At least you tried.
Thank you. Other paranormal activity includes objects that seemingly move on their own and visitors reporting the feeling of being watched. If you'd like to go to the Trans-Allegheny Asylum, it's on 71 Asylum Drive.
Oh, come on. Can't we do better?
And I have a phone number as well, if you would like to call them. Do they have a gift shop?
Google it.
Do they have a gift shop?
It's
creepy. I don't want to go there.
It says, I went to the whatever lunatic asylum and Sandy seduced me t-shirt.
They should. What a moneymaker.
Okay, what am I going to do first here?
Okay.
What's happening? Okay. This is a pretty short. All of mine are pretty short today.
I thought that was short.
Yeah, that was a little long. This is probably my shortest one, so I'll do that because
okay.
Yours was a little longer. So I'm going to be doing the Conjure Chest.
I've never heard of this.
It's from my book, Cursed Objects. I'm going to do this one, and then for our next episode, I'll do like a place, and then I'm doing another cursed object.
Hey, no one, we don't get paid for this job.
That's right.
You do you,
That's
Amy.
right. So this is from tinypennies.com.
Excuse me, what?
Tiny Pennies.
I heard you, but I just don't understand what that means.
I don't know. It's cute, right?
Tiny pennies? I'm here for this.
This is an article from...
It's all on black background.
17th February 2019.
Okay.
This is copy paste, yo.
It's
a beautiful chest.
It really
like a chest
is.
of drawers. Not just like a chest.
It's very nice.
So 150 years ago, on a large plantation near Frankfort in Kentucky, Jacob Cooley ordered his African-American slave house to build a chest for his first child.
Wait, his slave house? The people in his slave. That's confusing.
Yeah.
That's not cool. What's his name?
Jacob Cooley.
Jacob, you suck.
You're not cool.
No, you bad.
You Jacob Lamey.
Yeah, Rudy.
Jacob Rudy.
Rudy.
That's a great movie, Rudy.
I've never seen it. Isn't it about sports?
Yeah, it's like Sean Astin.
I freaking hate sports. Except Friday Night Lights was a great show. Yeah. Me and Kyle watched that. It was really great. Yeah. Anyway.
What's the movie with Dawson?
Oh, yeah. Varsity Blues.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
That's barely a sports movie.
True.
It's more a teen drama.
Well, it was kind of like Rudy. It was more of just like a feel-good. I said the old shuckaroo arm movement.
Shockaroo?
Shuckaroo.
Oh, God.
This is going to be a long day, I feel like. So anyways... rather than paying someone to build a chest, he ordered his slaves to do it. That's so terrible, Jacob.
Slavery is
the chest was beautifully crafted. However, Jacob was not happy with the result and beat his slave to a pulp, killing him.
Oh my God.
I hope something real bad. I haven't read the story. I hope something bad happens to him.
Well, he's burning in hell at this point.
Cooley's other slaves vowed to avenge the death of their friend.
Good.
As they should.
I would totally avenge your death.
And
Oh, God. What's your face saying?
sprinkled the dried blood of an owl in the chest and had a conjure man curse the chest. This is very like a skeleton key. Yeah, Papa Justify.
You're pulling out the dumbest.
Movie. I love that movie. Kate Hudson.
Well, it's very voodoo feeling, you know?
You're not a great actress.
Well, maybe I don't know where they were from. Maybe they're from, like, who knows?
This is, this is happening in Kentucky, but I'm sure
they
they
could
came
be Haitian
from,
or, I mean, who knows?
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is sad and ridiculous and repulsive and gross.
Yes, and they should have cursed that.
Yeah. Even if he hadn't done anything, he should have been cursed. You own slaves.
Yes.
Rude. You can't own people.
No.
Gross.
No. Hot take. Slavery sucks.
Yes.
If you disagree, who are you?
You suck, too.
Yeah.
So there.
Suck it.
Yeah. That's all we got for you. Lots of sucks. So all that was associated with the chest would fall within the curse's evil power. So it was apparently successful. Dried blood of an owl.
How do you...
What did the owl do?
How do you think? Well, I mean,
Did
maybe it was already dead.
Kathleen Peterson. That's a good one.
It's the same owl.
It is.
It's just been like...
It's just immortal. Well, no, it's not, because it killed it. It's the ghost. The ghost of this owl killed
Kathleen Peterson.
Yeah, it's not funny. She died.
Dude,
that's not funny.
But like I'm assuming from the show that was representational. I don't remember the crime scene photos. I think they're in the staircase. The documentary. But from the HBO. Oh my God.
So much blood.
Oh my God.
Ridiculous amount of
horrifying.
blood. Which I know head wounds bleed a lot, but still.
That was like splatter.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
No, it was everywhere.
Oh my God. Horrifying.
And they try several, like throughout the miniseries. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah, miniseries.
To like show her falling and her head bouncing. And
do they?
Yeah. But it's like,
I mean, who knows? But I don't know. But
she was bludgeoned.
Them living in that house with that blood still there.
And the jury taking a field trip there? Wasn't that the jury?
Up. Yes, I feel like it was. And they just put a sheet down. And on the miniseries, I don't know if it's true, but like the dogs are trying to get in it. Yeah, and the sons, I'm like, oh my God, this is so
First of all, why are you even still living there?
No, can you imagine?
Yeah, no, I can't.
No.
It's disgusting.
I mean, and then you ask your children to stay there? You're like living, and your mom fell down this, and her blood still, no.
Yeah.
What the
And maybe your dad murdered her?
Oh my God.
Or an owl? Wait till you get to that episode. I didn't realize it was the neighbor that came up, that like eccentric neighbor.
Larry?
Where
they go stay with?
That comes up with the
owl theory. So sorry, we're on talking about this, but they have different episodes showing the possibilities of what happened.
Yes.
I see. Okay. That's cool. I like that. Do they show the owl like attacking her head?
No, I don't think so.
Would it follow her?
Because I thought for sure when she had like the bats or whatever in her.
What?
I think, wasn't that in one of the first episodes where the bats are in the attic? She has to like call someone about that. I thought it was going to be owls.
Well, yeah, I mean that would make more sense.
I just assumed.
So are they saying the owl attacked her outside and then she like stumbled in?
Oh, they do show that. They do show it.
The owl.
There's a reenactment because that's why her Christmas decorations were knocked over. She's outside. The owl attacks her.
Wouldn't
she goes inside?
Wouldn't Mike hear that?
Well, they played like a tape though of like. Not her, but someone screaming while he was sitting out by the pool, and you couldn't hear it.
Okay, well they did.
He did it.
They
allegedly.
did that in the in the documentary.
Yeah, so they show that though. So they're showing it would be possible to not.
But didn't weren't they yelling at the staircase though? I'm thinking if you're getting attacked by an owl, you're outside.
Well, yeah, but they're alleging like she was outside, but then went in the house, obviously.
But when you're being attacked outside, wouldn't you be screaming?
I mean, you would think. Yeah.
Oh my God! What is on my head?
She was just like, ah! She was reacting like anyone would.
You'd be Toni Collette.
But I'm like, there's no way. I don't know.
And what did it think it was? Is Al blind?
It was him. Did I ever tell you about the time I was driving down the road? I was 16. So think of what a driver I am now. Could you imagine 16?
I mean, the worst driver.
My cousins were in from South Carolina. Michelle and Jennifer, do you listen to this podcast? Probably not. But if you do, I know you remember this because we talk about it every time we're together.
We have no faith in our
so
family.
So we're driving in my little Ford Escort. The windows are down because I have like no air conditioning. Right. And we start screaming. There is literally an owl flying next to the window, like in tandem with my car, just like staring in at us.
Thinking about whether it was going to attack you or not.
It was the weirdest. And we were like, is it? And I had like, it was like the window. You had to crank the window up. So it was like, is it going to
5 minutes later?
What is happening?
Well, and owls, I mean, they're raptors, right? Isn't that what they're called? It seems wrong because that's also what a dinosaur is called. But
and their talons are super sharp and stuff because that's how they get their prey.
Yeah, they're I almost said villains, but they're like predators.
That's they're absolutely predators.
But what did they think her head was? A bunny? I mean, like, what did it think your soft hair was?
Can't be a mouse.
No, it's bizarre.
I don't even know. Do they get things as large as bunnies, though? I always thought they ate, like, mice.
I mean, maybe a small bunny. Yeah.
Ugh, I don't know.
Anyway, watch the staircase. We're clearly obsessed.
Yes. So anyways.
I just want to know what happened.
So all those associated with the chest would fall within the curse's evil power. Although Jacob Cooley himself evidently escaped the malevolence. Boo!
Well, yeah, he's the one it was intended for.
His descendants were not as fortunate. Oh, great. So this is like the sins of my father. Cool. Great.
All right. Well, as far as I know, none of my ancestors were
that was like
slave
yesterday.
owners.
We got the phone call about Carter's truck. Dealerships are rip-off people. Then we get home. Something else happened. I don't remember what. And Keaton's like, God, what else can go wrong? I'm like, why would you say that? That was so stupid. I open the back hatch because we've been grocery shopping. Groceries start falling out. So I catch them. I'm like, woohoo, look at me. Well, then a whole carton of eggs. And it was like 105 heat index yesterday. Just splatter all over my garage floor.
Oh.
And it was like, so then I'm like, have to clean that up with paper towels and then wash it and stuff because I'm like, it's hot enough to fry an egg. Like, literally, this will be disgusting. And then I went out to fill the dog's pool and the hydrant wouldn't work. And then
she cursed you?
Someone cut a cable line thing somewhere in Iowa, so our internet went out.
What?
Like, it was just, I'm like, Keaton, I swear to God.
Somewhere in Iowa?
And then in the middle
Are you joking?
No.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. It's like I was up like
Windstream?
the motherboard. I don't know how internet works. Clearly.
Honestly, it is amazing.
It is, but I don't understand.
It's all around us right now.
Yeah. So thank God I'd finished my stories because we were without internet for a good, which is
that
fine because I
happens all
finally
the time
started
to you,
reading
though.
Mariah Carey's memoir that I've had for months, and it is amazing.
Really?
I'll have to pass it to you when I'm
Well,
done.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Did you hear that Nick Cannon has 9 Dude.
And he's had like 4 in a year or something. I'm like, what are you doing? Someone get your sickle or scythe after him.
And how does he have any money to give any of these women?
He only hosts like America's Got Talent or something. Like that can't. He ain't Ryan Seacrest, yo.
No,
he doesn't have Seacrest money.
and I bet he don't pay Mariah any.
No, I'm sure Mariah's just like,
get away from me.
Goodbye. She's got her what's his name?
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
Her boyfriend.
I have no clue.
Ticonderoga or something. I don't know what
That's
his
a
name
type
is.
of pencil. I have no idea who her boyfriend.
Oh my God!
I don't know who her
You know how the
boyfriend
political signs are up right now. Keaton dies.
Moron?
No, I haven't seen that. I think it's Moran.
I know, but I call him moron.
There's also a cheesemaker or something.
No, it's Cheeseman.
Cheeseman.
We know them. Cheesemaker.
Here's what.
Cheesemaker, I'm actually gonna pee.
How many cheeses do you make? Munster?
Cheesemaker.
Shut up! I was close enough. That's not even what I was talking about. Though.
I know it was so funny. It's imagine if your last
Witzville, that every time we go by, Keaton loses her mind. Dwayne Johnson is running for something.
He should be the president.
He really should.
If we're now
do that thing with his eyebrow, I'm voting for you.
his boobies.
Yeah, he has like the most muscular legs of any human on the planet.
Hey, if we're now hiring need celebrities to be our...
Dwayne Johnson, you got my vote.
I love him. He's a great person, I feel like.
I think. Please don't do anything problematic.
I know. I love him, his Instagram with his kid, like his daughters, because he's such a monster. Yeah. And then he has...
Oh, I still remember when Jamie and I started dating. We watched WWE all the time.
Oh, what a dream.
And that was it was always, can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
He's really made something of himself.
He really has. And he's become way more attractive, too. Like, back in his wrestling days, he was kind of goofy looking.
No, he's pretty cute.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd date him.
I'm sure he's going to hit us up. We can't do the growl, so...
He's married to like a normal woman. I mean, she's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
But she's like not a celebrity.
Right.
Which I'm always like impressed when people do that. Yeah.
Like Matt Damon.
And he's made a really legit career, movie career. He's funny. Him and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch any movie they're in together as they just make fun of each other.
I'm in.
Oh, Dwayne Johnson and Cheesemaker.
Cheesemaker.
Her name's Noelle. Cheeseman.
Yeah, that's really an unfortunate name. I mean, I get that most names are from like colonial times. When you like immigrated here, whatever your job was, that's
clearly
what
made
they were cheesemakers. So maybe it's actually like evolved from cheesemaker to cheesemaker. Like a lot of people whose last name's Black were blacksmith.
I know, it's just funny to fit your name. You said it so... Cheese man.
Like the stinky cheese man.
That book is so great. We are the dumbest humans
really are
on the planet.
And this is a really terrible
Good thing we're not running
story.
for anything. Maybe
I wouldn't vote for me. Jeez.
I would.
Of course you would.
Just because
you know me.
We should run in tandem.
We should. Like, you be the president and I'll be the vice president.
Well, no, it's like you're like Amy Raditz. We're just as if we're one human. It's like you on my shoulders.
We can do it.
I'm the pants and you're the
What are we
top.
like? We don't even live in the same county.
No, we don't.
We can't. We'd have to be state something.
That'd be hilarious. We show up at the House of Representatives. We're here, bitches!
What's up? What's that hand motion?
Hey, it's like, come on. Come at me.
We're here to make the cheese.
You all trying to ban abortions? Y'all suck! And we just start shouting, you suck, and everything.
We're like these people at that rally. Or no, was it in Joel Osteen's church? Where they took off their clothes and they just had their bra and underwear on and it was like, stay away from my body or something. Like
Joel Osteen's like, my eyes. They're seductresses.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Oh, Joel Osteen.
I mean, Joel Osteen. He probably has no opinion about anything, though. He's so, like, non-confrontational, I feel like, about things.
But he'll take your money.
I mean, he sure will. For his private plane.
We have just, like, ostracized. Actually, I feel like at this point, the only people listening feel the same.
It's so funny to think about us on the floor of the House of Representatives.
Trying to filibuster. Like, you can't even go pee if you're filibustering.
You pee your pants.
I feel like I'm wearing Depends. I don't care.
No, Amy will just
I just keep going. And then Carter's just driving me around the house floor on the four-wheeler.
I'm wearing a Bob's Burgers shirt on the house. They're like, who are these?
I'm showing my real weird tan lines. Look at that. Look at my tan, like a bra tan line. Sorry.
Amy's breasts are out. Again, all those old men are like, seductress!
Yes.
And we're like, you like it.
Why are your boobs so high, lady? Wear open turtlenecks on the house floor.
And we're like, dude.
It's summer.
You have 100 mistresses. Shut up.
Yeah, gross.
You're disgusting.
Eric Greitens, go away.
Oh my God.
Okay, sorry.
Eric Greitens, go away.
Just leave. Leave this place.
He is the worst.
He truly is.
Ugh.
Okay, so anyways, Jacob Cooley's descendants paid the price. His son was born but died just a few days after birth. Well, I feel like that's kind of like punishment to him, though, too.
Right, and kind of common of the time, unfortunately.
So the chest...
We just got so serious. And also...
Well, we got to wrap this up because we got 2 more episodes to record.
True.
The chest was moved into a second son's room. He was later stabbed to death by a servant.
Jesus!
Well, don't have servants.
Oh, I mean, true.
Jacob Cooley had a third son, John, who inherited one of his father's many plantations. The young man led a happy life until a young woman came into his life.
Excuse me, don't blame us.
Ellie and John were soon married, despite him being nearly 3 times her age. Gross. The couple inherited the conjure chest. Knowing of the previous tragedies, she put the chest in an attic. Yeah, that's not going to do anything.
Still inside
Ellie.
your home.
Around the same time, Jacob Cooley's youngest daughter, Melinda, eloped with an Irishman named Sean. With nowhere to live, Melinda turned to Ellie. John and Ellie had done well and had acquired several farms in Tennessee. They turned over one of these to Sean and Melinda to work. While Melinda bore a brood of children and worked from sunrise to sunset, Sean came to loathe the dullness of farm life. Sean?
Farming would be the worst.
It would be.
I mean, to me.
Then I'll go farm and you come take care of the brood, Sean.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I'll be alone in the tractor.
Yes. To try to bring some beauty into Melinda's dreary existence. God, these children.
I mean.
Ellie sent the chest to the farm. Ellie. Come on.
So that's another
you
woman,
knew what
right?
you were doing.
Yeah, she's like, hey, girl, about to send you this chest.
Put it in the attic.
Yeah. This chest is so cool. It's going to really bring some life to your existence.
It had been in the attic for a long time and nothing had happened. Okay.
Nice.
Within days, Sean deserted his wife for the bright lights of New Orleans.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Las Vegas.
Melinda was disconsolate.
Well, that's rude, Sean.
She took to her bed and soon died. An exhausted, gray-haired woman barely out of her 30s.
Who took care of the kids?
Shortly after, Sean was struck in the head by a steamboat's gangplank and died.
Oh my God. How does that happen? Was it driving by?
Was he in the water or was he on like a dock?
And it's just
like, move your big Irish head, Sean.
He's just standing.
Bump.
That's really funny.
Top of the morning. It was not Irish at
End
all.
of the morning. End of your life.
Lucky Charms. Your head is not. None of this is Irish. Okay, so the couple left many orphan children, and John Cooley was given the job of assigning the youngsters to other family members. Okay, so you get Robert. You get Ethan. Oh, they're from Kentucky. I don't know why I'm... So John took the youngest, Evelyn, to live with his own family in Kentucky. Little Evelyn grew into a beautiful and intelligent young woman. When she turned 16, she passed an examination that provided her with a teaching certificate, and she took over a one-room schoolhouse.
Aw, cute.
She met and married a Scotsman, Malcolm Johnson, barely 2 months after she began teaching. As a wedding present, Ellie presented them with Jacob Cooley's handsome chest. Ellie, stop.
Ellie is a troublemaker.
Yes. Evelyn had children and even adopted a young girl named Arabella. The curse was all but forgotten. However, after Arabella married some years later, Evelyn put the girl's wedding dress in the chest. Shortly after Arabella's husband died, Arabella's child died after her baby clothes had been put in the chest. 3 other tragedies befell Evelyn's immediate family, yet Malcolm was a success. He turned a shrewd Scottish eye into a booming business empire that at its height consisted of mills, houses, a coal yard, wharf, and dry goods store. Malcolm was an extraordinarily wealthy man when he died, but despite her comfortable surroundings, Evelyn was haunted by the memories of those around her who were struck down or stricken in some other way by hardship. Eventually, she took her own life.
Oh.
The chest was inherited by Virginia Carey Hudson. Mrs. Hudson thought tales of the curse were hearsay. She was wrong. Her first baby's clothes were put in the chest.
No!
She died. Quit putting children's stuff in there. Burn the chest. Another child's clothes were tucked in a drawer, and she contracted infantile paralysis.
Oh my gosh.
A third daughter's wedding dress was stored there, and her first husband ran off. A son was stabbed
He
in
just sucks.
A son was stabbed in the hand whilst he had clothes in the chest.
What?
A friend of the family put hunting clothes in it. He was shot in a hunting accident. 16 victims, all of whom had one thing in common. Some of their personal clothing had been put in the conjure chest.
That's too much to be a coincidence.
Too many.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hudson wanted to put an end to the curse. Finally, she found what she had hoped would be the solution in the form of an old friend of hers. A person of color named Annie. Annie understood curses and conjures. The spell cast by Hosea's faithful companions would be broken only when 3 conditions were met. Ooh, I love when there are conditions to breaking a curse.
First, take out this dried blood. They're just like putting their clothes on top of it. Oh, God.
Mrs. Hudson would have to be given a dead owl without her having to ask for one. Huh? Someone's just randomly going to show up with a dead owl. You're playing charades.
You're just like, I'd like to get a alive.
Who?
Right.
Yeah.
Is that considered asking?
No. Second, the green leaves of a willow tree had to be boiled from sunup to sundown.
Also, couldn't that woman just give her the dead owl because she knows she needs it?
I guess.
You know what I mean?
The dead owl had to remain in sight.
What?
Third, the boiled liquid was then buried in a jug with its handle facing east toward the rising sun below a flowering bush.
How do you bury something under a bush?
I don't know. You remove the bush and replant it. Or maybe it just means you know how a bush spreads?
Yeah,
as long as it's under its branches or whatever. However bushes work. A stuffed owl was given to Mrs. Hudson's son by a friend, accomplished the first requirement. There's giving away taxidermy. That sounds like my house. Mrs. Hudson plucked the leaves from a nearby willow tree and boiled them in a large black pot. The owl kept watching from a kitchen counter. At dusk, old Annie and Mrs. Hudson took the jug and, with its handle pointed east, buried it beneath a flowering lilac bush outside the kitchen window. Annie said they would only know if the curse had been broken if one of them died before the first full days of fall.
Well, the people?
Well, great! So you have to die to break the curse now?
What?
Annie died in early September, the 17th.
Well, great.
And she's like, I was helping.
Right.
So the final private owner of the conjure chest was Mrs. Hudson's daughter, Virginia C. Main. Mrs. Main donated it to the Kentucky History Museum in 1976. Supposedly, the curse has been removed, but tucked safely in the top chest drawer is an envelope containing owl feathers. The museum isn't taking any chances.
I wouldn't either.
The end.
The end.
Okay, that was a wild ride.
It really was. Hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Follow us on all of our socials. Thank you. Rate, review, subscribe. Thank you again.
Buy our merch.
Goodbye.
Do we still have merch?
We do.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.